Ladies and Gentiles, it is I, Dick Thunderlips, here to bring you the Week 6 Heroes of Fantasy DTF Recaparoo. That's right, the Fantasy Report is here. Dick Thunderlips in your face, hard and fast as always. And folks, last second trade went down, the first trade of the year, and nothing gets Dick harder than a trade, folks. And so with that in mind, we'll take a little jump in, a little hopperoo into there to take a little look at what happened here. As you can see on my screen, folks, let's take a look. You see Ricky G. Let me break it down for you. He acquired Cam Newton, the returning Cam Newton, and Eric Ebram, recently acquired and claimed, and the Patriots defense from Tyree. For the Dolphins defense, Carson Wentz and Darrell Henderson Jr. Folks, this is an interesting trade because you'll see Tyree immediately deployed that Dolphins D, and you'll see Ricky G immediately turned to his new guys as well. We'll see who came out on top with this trade this week. Did it matter? I don't know. We're gonna find out right now, folks, as we hop right in to all the action from Week 6. Hold on to your butts. By popular demand, we're going to skip straight to the Hot Sauce Spotlight matchup. A straight request from the Discords, folks, as the popping up here. We're going to see, I wouldn't call it the upset of the week because, Al's terrible. But frankly, Al's been solid all year, making Dick question if Chris Stahl's been in charge of the team. But he dropped a hell of a matchup here, folks, against Matt Segovia. 0-5, Matthew J. Segovia. Shane Falco wasn't available, but boy, did he find a win anyway. As Al drops to 3-3, Matt gets his first dub of the year, and you wouldn't know by the score, folks. But going into going into Monday, just Monday. There was 2 games on Monday. Going into Monday, Matthew Segovia was down by like 35, 30, I don't even know, 40 points. Something like that. And Al still had John Brown, Cole Beasley, the Titans defense. This one was locked up solid, baby. Kenyon Drake and the Cardinals D still had to go for Matt. But let me tell you, Matt got it done. In a miracle that you can only see in fantasy and sometimes in real life, folks. Kenyon Drake dropped 28. The Cardinals dropped 16 on the big D. Made Dallas look silly. And with those two combined, it gave him enough juice to give Al the caboose out of there, get him the dub. The rest of Matt's team, not much to hoot and holler about. Travis Fulgham definitely did his duty as one of the top waiver wire claims of the week with 19. Goff with a little pulse there, folks, with 14. 11 for Darius Slayton. Not much else to hoot about, but it got Matt the dub, folks. As you take a look at L's side, Mahomie looking mortal with only 20 points. That's not what you pay for, folks, but you can't really complain either. 14 from J.D. McKissick, and the performance of the year for Frank Gore. He came out of his shell for 11, folks. Meanwhile, John Brown, as we mentioned, one of those Monday goose eggs for Al. He had 4 targets and 0 points somehow. And Cole Beasley, but meanwhile, did his job. 14 points, folks. What can I say? The Titans defense, however, only 2 points. This is not what you like to see, folks. This is not what you like to see at all. Maybe I've exaggerated affairs. Maybe Al was winning by like 20. It felt like 40. I don't care. Matt came from behind on Monday to pick up the dub, and even George Kittle and Tim Patrick couldn't carry Al to the victory. But, Al's got C-Mac hopefully coming back. He's got, Matthew J. Segovia has Austin Eckler. There's still hope. It's still early enough. Matt could go on a run of a lifetime, folks. And, Al could let Crystal control the team again. Get him back in the W column. Now, moving along, let's see if this trade had any impact, and boy, let me tell you, it did, baby. Speaking of Crystal, she finally tastes her first defeat of the year. She puts up a mortal score of 112, and she took an L hard, folks. She could have squeaked past some other teams, but Tyree instead squeaked right past her with a $119. Beating her by only like 6.5 or 7. Whatever, man, doesn't matter. Tyree's gotta love going to 3-3, keeping the dream alive. Crystal can afford the L, but you don't like to see it when it could have easily been a win, folks. But as you look at the difference maker, right down Tyree's lineup, Lamar Jackson was always going to be in there for 28. The RBs are slightly disappointing. Amari Cooper not missing deck at all, still dropping 20 on the board. Marvin Jones looking like he should be dropped though. Kelsey still doing some van damage with 21. Jonnu Smith, massive disappointment with only 2 points. And the newly acquired Delrell Henderson putting up 9, which you're not going to hate. You don't hate it. But that Dolphins D with 15, folks. Let's call it a day. A day's a day. The dude won by a little bit. That Dolphins D is looking like the moneymaker right there, folks. I'm feeling like this trade is the reason Tyree picked up the dub this week, and you gotta love to see that, folks. And Crystal, meanwhile, didn't miss a beat with Russell Wilson on the bye. She somehow picks up Kirk Cousins and watches him do what Russell Wilson basically does and drop 23. That just shows Crystal's clairvoyance and powers. But it wasn't enough because the rest of the team laid some real goose eggs, folks. Golden Tate dropped a tater of 2.1, 4.8 for Jerick McKinnon, and even the big games from Calvin Ridley and Kristen Kirk couldn't keep Crystal out of the loser column, finally tasting defeat. But boy, oh boy, if she would have played the Buccaneer defense, we might have had a different story, folks. Let's talk about trash bag. Carson Wentz dropping 29. This dude's a piece of trash. Imagine if Ricky G would have kept him. Hopefully he won this week. Otherwise, we'll see how that went down. Anyway, we'll see what's going on. Michael Gallup missing Dak, boy. I don't know what that's going to look like the rest of the year. Crystal's still dangerous as ever. She's going to get back her boyfriend DK Metcalf and Russell Wilson next week and probably continue to roll. But good big win for Tyree. And now let's jump to Ricky G's matchup as we see what you gotta hate to see. You don't like to see it. CJ's my boo. Ricky G trying to power up to take down C Jizzle, who was 4-1, now goes to 5-1, as he ekes out a victory against Ricky G by 7 small fantasy points. And you know where this is going, folks. Oh boy, me oh my. Let's look at C Jizzle's side first, see how he put up the points. Kyler Murray lighting it up on Monday. Oh boy. Almost dropping 30 points, and definitely carrying CJ to the victory here. Devin Singletary, you don't like to see only 5. That's disappointing. Some despite the Cardinals scoring 1 million points, D-Hop only 9 of those. 4 from Mark Andrews in a disappointing week, but you gotta love getting 27 from DeAndre Swift. Oh, hoot and holler. CJ getting pulled out of the fire. His studs doing some dirty on him, but then meanwhile out of nowhere, this random dude is like, I got you, boo. Lifted up CJ on his shoulders and took him to victory. Kyler Murray definitely sealed the deal for him. On the other side, meanwhile, great days from Ricky G's upstart RBs. James Robinson, Myles Gaskin still looking good. Devontae Adams solid in his return, but still like poop. Tyreek Hill, huge disappointment on Monday. That you don't like to see that. And newly acquired Eric Ebron with only 2 points. Cam with 18. You don't hate it. But dude just traded Carson Wentz, who dropped 30. I mean, what are you going to do? Julio Jones looking good again, baby, with 33. Trying to give Ricky G the win all by himself, all by his lonesome. 10 for Allen Robinson, and 7 for the Patriot D. And honestly, dude, if he doesn't do this trade and he plays Trey Burton, he gets 21 from his tight end. He just wrecks CJ's face. You don't like to see that, folks. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I feel like the trade. If Ricky G doesn't trade, let's be honest here. He plays Carson Wentz. He's not going to play Andy Dalton over Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz scores 30. Ricky G wins. Period. End of story. I don't know who he would have played at tight end if he didn't get Eric Ebron. If he would have played Trey Burton for sure, I mean, even better. He would have scored 1 million points. He would have won. Ricky G's season may have gone from 4-3 to 2-4 because of the trade, folks. This is the reverse opposites now. You see Tyree getting the dub because of the trade. You're seeing here Ricky G. Swear. You don't like to see it. You hate it. But it is what it is, folks. This is why we play the game. And I guess CJ really is his boo. Because he bent over, gave him a good kick on the ass, and then kissed it and put him in the L column. And Ricky G's got a mountain to climb to get back in the picture. But his team is still good. He's going to be a tough one down the stretch. CJ still looking good. What a trash bag. Ricky would have beat almost anyone else this week. That's a tough luck loser. Now, as we keep talking about tough luck losers, let's take a look at Adrian, giving the professor another tough L. Professor, a disappointing week, only scoring 99 points. And Adrian barely scoring over 100, but he gets it done again. It's all matchups, folks. A lot of this is luck. It's who you play. Adrian still wants Tyree to come back to Papa. Disappointing week from Roethlisberger. He's not looking very good. I don't know what's going on there, folks. This was a rough one for a few QBs, including Matthew Stafford. On his bench, he couldn't buy a bucket with his QBs this week. Joe Mixon looking mortal this week. DJ Moore, Scary Terry. Darren Fells with 20 off of free agency, folks. That's how you pick up a tight end. 17 from James Conner. And honestly, just solid performances, no whoreouts. And then a goose egg from a defense. I don't even know how that happens in our scoring system, but there it is, folks. And a Judge Judy with 5.2. Adrian, just a weird team. I don't know what's going on here. Good enough to score over 100, but not be outlandish. It's still looking okay for you, to be honest. I don't know. Way better than J-Sex. That's all I know. Meanwhile, Oscar keeps fighting the good fight, but it just doesn't get the breaks, folks. Fitzpatrick with one of his worst weeks, only getting 16. Adrian Peterson with 12. This dude doesn't need RBs at all. 4 points from Mark Breda. This is what kills you, folks. When OBJ and Mike Evans only give you 4.5 and 2, and your tight end that's been solid all year gives you a goose egg, how are you supposed to win, folks? What are you supposed to do? That's heartbreaking, especially when A.J. Brown's dropping 22s. T. Higgins, I don't even know who T. Higgins is, dropping 18 and 19 from Steelers D. He's doing everything he can to climb out of this mountain, to pick up the dub, and then his filler goes off, and his stars do nothing. Oscar can't buy a bucket, and that's why we play the game. It's tough. It sucks. He goes to 2-4. Adrian squeaks out of 4-2. They could easily have the reverse record right now. It's crazy, folks. But anywho, team's looking decent still. Stay in there, stay strong. Maybe do some trades, finagle. It's tough, but y'all will get it done. Moving on forward, you see Freddie picking up a very much needed win. Things were looking good for him earlier in the week. Right as Sunday started off, it wasn't looking good, but he dealt Zach a lethal blow, dropping him to 0-6. Zach only scoring 95. A $120 for Freddie in the end. You gotta love Ryan Tannehill dropping 28 points, folks. Ryan Tannehill still looking like a stud, and frankly, probably single-handedly got Freddie the win, along with this KC rookie running back dropping 20 for him. Still gotta like what you see there, folks. Mike Davis coming back down to earth with 11. Thielen with 14, 18 from Claypool, now in the lineup. Good job, Freddie. Then the Giants D with 14. The ball's on this guy to play the Giants D. Woof. Anywho. Rather than have the entire Pittsburgh team on his bench, he now just has an open spot on his bench. It's probably in memoriam of all the L's he took because of Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, on the other side, Recaparoo still with Garner Minshew with only 18. Only 18. I mean, I wish I had 18 from my quarterback. What are we talking about? 12 from Ezekiel Elliott, looking mortal. Ronald Jones with 26. And T.Y. Hilton continues to be a trash bag with 2 points. Dude needs to be in free agency. Sorry, he's not good. He hasn't been good in 2 seasons. 4 points from LaVisca Chenault Junia. 8 from Jimmy Graham Tam. Yuk with 9. Point 1. I don't know what's going on here, Zach. You pick up a defense in the 9th hour, gets you 15. You got dude on your bench getting 11. Larry Fitzgerald disappointing year all around for Zachariah, and he couldn't buy a bucket with free agency either. It's tough when your middle dudes aren't doing anything, your top end underperforms, and everyone you pick up free agency is a trash bag. I mean, the Broncos tried. They tried, dude. They tried. And frankly, you would have got a win against one team this week, which we'll get to last at this point. Speaking of trash bags, J6 drops another one to Aldo's Gronk Pirates. Aldo somehow scoring 1 million points, 164.5 to $102. Aldo would have shit on anyone this week. He couldn't have shit on a better person than Jay Sizzle. I love it. Aldo goes to 3-3 and hopefully keeps his eye on the prize because the dude's still in there. As we take a look, let's take a look at Jay Sizzle's disappointing week, folks. 14 for Thomas Reginald Brady. Kareem Hunt finally remembers that he's a piece of shit, dropping 7. 15 for Jonathan Tanner Thomas. Kenny Galladay with 14. Baby Shark with only 11, remembering that he's mediocre at best. Rob Gronkowski with 18. I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate you so much. 16 for Stephon Diggs. Hard man, dropping 0. Good. That's what you should see out of him. And only 3 from the Buffalo D. And this is a big one because this is in a week where this dude's got buys. Michael Thomas on a bye. Hunter Henry on the bye. All this other running back, possibly Joshua Kelly on a bye. Oh yeah, J-Sex, had some hope in the hills there. We got Preston Wilson on the bench over Hardman, man. I mean, whatever, man. The important thing here is that J-Sex will not be a repeat champion. He is instead a trash bag. Let Dick get some juice. J-Sex, you got a lot to improve your home. Maybe do a trade. Maybe pick someone up. Maybe look at Aldo for inspiration as he lists Deshaun Watson with 32. Derrick Henry just murdering people with 40 points. Dude, 40 points. You single-handedly almost beat J-Sex by yourself. Stiff arm him down. Actually, I think you beat Danny by yourself with 40. Whew. Anywho, only 5 from Malcolm Brown, but Aldo doesn't even care. CeeDee Lamb came back to earth without Dak around. 39 from Houston Jefferson. What is going on in Minnesota, folks? Thielen's doing good, and this guy. I don't know what's going on. This dude got 2 40s. That's how you do it. 9 points from TJ Hawkinson. Oh, disappointment from Devontae Parker and Marquise Brown, but Aldo don't care when the rest of the team's doing this. What can I say? And AJ Green suddenly has a pulse with 17 points. Anywho, and all this with Chubb out. So Aldo's team looking dangerous, folks, down the stretch. If Derrick Henry can keep putting up 40s, and if Justin Jefferson's the second coming of Randy Moss, Aldo might have a championship team on his hands. Just got to keep your eye on the prize, keep looking at 3-3, and don't have a week like this one, folks. As Steven Naramore and Danny Boy clash, both 4-1, one team will go on to continue their run for the championship, the other lick their wounds. And it was worse than that, because Naramore, disappointing week, only scoring 100. But dude can't be that disappointed when his opponent scores 68.2. Folks. Aldo had two guys would have beat Danny by themselves. That's how bad this was. Let's take a look at Steven Naramore's disappointing week first. Josh Allen with 15. What are you going to do? Aaron Jones with a down week. And this is the kicker, folks. Dude's got Josh Jacobs on a bye this week. And of all weeks, Minnesota running back decides he's gonna miss a game, folks. And who's got the backup? Alexander Madison sitting on Naramore's team. Dude suddenly has a legit backup running back, projected for 1 million points, only scores 4. That's what they'd like to see. That's because Minnesota somehow threw the ball every single play. Will Fuller, meanwhile, 24. 11 points for Jamison Crowder. Disappointing Zach Ertz, 7.3. 2 for Mark Ingram, proving you should never play Baltimore running backs. And Deebo Samuel suddenly remembering San Francisco might pass once. I don't know what's going on, folks. San Francisco's terrible. Deebo Samuel should have 2 points. Dude's got 18. 15 points from this tight end on his bench. But overall, whatever, man. Bad week. Wanted more, but got the dub anyway. And that's why you play the game. And we talk about playing the game. Let's look at Danny Boy's side. Whew. Aaron Rodgers with 3.8 points. Let's be honest here, folks. That's how you do it. We've been talking about Aaron Rodgers being the biggest poontang in the league, folks. And frankly, it looks like he did. He shriveled up, playing against the GOAT, Thomas Reginald Brady. Dude couldn't get it done. And had the worst game of his NFL career after lighting it up like a week ago. We were talking about how he's a bad, bad man again a couple weeks ago, and now this. So let's see. He has a crazy game. Then he has a bye. comes off the bye and scores 3 points. I don't know what that means. Maybe the dude needs to get his vag checked. All I know is 3 points ain't gonna get it done, Jack. That was the only disappointment in Danny Boy's team, though, as we go top to bottom. David Johnson with a almost hitting his projection of 14 with 13.9. Disappointing day for Gibson with only 9. Julian Edelman with 4. Brandon Cook still cooking up 21, baby. You gotta like the upswing there, but he's got a lot to make up for. 4 points from Cooper Cup. 4 points from the D of Indianapolis. And as you can see here, Danny Boy missed Kamara, and none of his other guys did anything. And in the tight end carousel of life, Higbee scoring 8, Logan Thomas with 13, picks up Cameron Brate, plays him for 1. The curse of the tight end continues for Danny Boy. It's second year in a row, and he will continue to just lose game after game after game after game because of his shitty tight end decisions, folks. And I don't even know how this ends up happening, though. 68 is impressive considering he had a 20 on the board. But this is disheartening, folks. You don't like to see this on a team that thought it was marching toward a championship looking solid. Now this team looks like it needs to be in shambles and blown up. I don't know what's happening. Do you? I think it needs a fresh steroid shipment on a trade. But what do I know? I mean, I'm just Dick Thunderlips, baby. I just get in there hard and fast, give you the facts, and give you take a look at the standings here, folks. Real quickaroo. Some of your loads. Chris Dahl still in first, right behind him. Right behind him, this lady. Stephen Naramore pulling up in second with C. Jizzle on his heels. Danny Boy drops into the 4-2 bucket, but he leads the pack with Adrian and Freddie hanging in there. And then a lot of 3-3s, the dangerous 3-3 teams. And you want to talk about dangerous teams? We've still got, you've got somehow Ricky G and Oscar's teams scoring good, but sitting at 2-4. You don't like to see that. Those are still dangerous teams down the stretch, folks. As you'll see, the highest scoring teams, actually, Crystal, CJ, Danny Boy, despite that shitty-ass performance, still the third highest scoring team, and Ricky G, the fourth highest scoring team, despite his terrible record, although also a high scoring team. I mean, it's crazy, folks. It's crazy. That's how you know a team should be doing better than they are, folks. Meanwhile, the team's getting shit on the most, of course, Ricky G, which explains the upside down record. You see Oscar there, Matt Segovia, having some tough times, folks. With the opposite being true of why Adrian's doing so well, and Stephen Naramore, they're not getting scored on much, folks. That's how this works. Anywho, with that in mind, let's take a quick gandaroo, if we can, at the matchups for Week 7, as Matt Segovia looks to continue his winning ways against Danny Boy, who's licking his wounds still. You have Naramore and the Professor. If Stephen Naramore doesn't clean up, he might be facing his first L in a while here, folks. Professor's hungry, he's thirsty, and his team is going off. Meanwhile, a clash of titans as Crystal and C. Jizzle face off. These two teams 5-1. This is for supremacy in all the league, folks. Who will be the biggest hero of fantasy goodness? Will it be CJ? Will it be Crystal? In this epic clash, we will find out. Meanwhile, Ricky G is going to try to pick on Zach. Will Zach get his first win of the year? I don't know. Ricky G's got to get in the dub column. That's all I know, folks. And you don't like to see this, but 2, 3, and 3 teams. Aldo's been hot on fire, is going to try to pick up another win and put Tyree into the basin where he belongs, folks. You know, according to Adrian. That's what Adrian told me. I'm not me. I love Tyree. Anyway, Al, meanwhile, you don't want to see this either. Yeah, Adrian is on the way, trying to get back to that title. Al still looking his wounds after having Matt come back on him on Monday night. It's going to be a tough one. And last but not least, your defending champions, the ever shitty Jay Sex, is going to do his best to try to pick up a dub against the streaking Freddie team. Freddie's team looking solid. He might lose Mike Davis in any minute. I don't know what that means for his team, but Freddie's riding this wave hard and fast like Dick likes it. So for now, folks, that's it. Try to pull off a trade. Try to get in there. Try to shake it up. You still got some time, folks, before the champions are formed and go for the ultimate prize, that beautiful Heroes of Fantasy Championship title. Get in there hard and fast and do your best, folks. Stand tall like Dick likes it. And for now, Dick's out, baby.